Okay, so first video for modding my Xbox 2. This is, just for the record, a VA1 PAL version, one of the earliest European PAL Mega Drive 2 motherboards. Now this one's actually pretty clean, so I'm not going to go to a huge amount of effort to clean it up. I've also checked the slot. The slot's good. I'm not going to muck about with that too much either. I might get some very fine oxide wet and dry just to just take a little bit of that oxidation layer off of the contacts. But I have reset some of the ones that looked a little bent and aged, but actually this is in pretty decent condition. It's been sat in my loft basically for the last 12 years near enough here, and that's in hot and cold. There's no insulation in the loft, so it goes from below 0 to 30 plus, and this whole motherboard survived perfectly well. Carts load very nicely, runs absolutely excellently. Caps seem absolutely fine. The composite picture is great. Not that I'm going to keep using composite for a very good reason. That this is my modding testbed, and the first mod that I've done is replacing the LED, the blue one. Now on the Mega Drive 1, that's trivially easy. It literally just pulls off of the case, and you bend a couple of legs, pull the plug off of it, put the new blue LED through the top of the case, put the plug back in, and you've got a blue LED. This one, not so easy. The first thing I had to do was try to clear down the holes, because they fill with solder, of course, and because they're so small, I couldn't get the braid to sit on the solder to suck it up, so that turned out to be useless. My solder sucker syringe type one is way too big. I had a bulb one somewhere, but I cannot find it. The bulb one, what I would have done was use it to blow the solder out of the holes once I've got it running, just to spit it out and clean the holes out. In the end, the point of a knife and one of the very fine screwdriver tip and a little bit of wing and a prayer, and I managed to get most of the solder out, but not before I'd tried twice, and both times, because of the time it took to sort of force one leg, then another, and backwards and forwards, each time heating it up, wiggling it down a couple of mil, then having to change to the other leg so I could melt the solder there, and wiggling it down. It just took so long that by the time that I got them down, they were ruined. Okay, so here it is, hooked up to the charger. I don't need to plug it into the TV or put a game in, because we're only testing the power LED for the moment. Now these are quite bright, so this might glare out the camera, but we'll see. Okay, momentary panic there. Turns out, however, I'm a moron. Those of you who know me will heartily concur, I'm sure. But, you know, I left the legs on for the time being so that I could pull it through and heat as little as possible and still get a decent grip on it without having to put pliers anywhere near the plastic of the LED. So, legs were there. But I'd also put the shielding back in the case. So, of course, that acted as a nice short between the two legs, hence the flickering LED that then suddenly went out. But there you go. Let's get away from it a bit now. Obviously, it's really bright like this, but it does have to shine through a little lump of optical plastic in the upper case. It will still be quite bright, but not quite so over the top as you're seeing here with the LED naked. So there you go, first mod done. Nice blue modern looking LED. No more 1980s red. Yay.